Yo, what is up, guys? It is me, Matt, here, and today I am punching your faces with another episode of Theory Time. And today's episode of Theory Time is going to be a bit special because it's kind of a double feature, and it's also the part of a new mini-series as a part of it that I'm going to be doing. This is going to be the timeline saga, as I call it, of Theory Time. I'm not going to do them every single not going to do them consecutively in the episodes, but I will do them frequently, like maybe every other episode, maybe every other episode. But this is going to be kind of a special kind of thing. I don't think anybody else has done this so far. So, you know, copyrighted March 2014. But I'm going to be finding discussing the timelines of various different game franchises, and then once I've done a sufficient amount of them, I'm going to try to combine them into one consecutive timeline thing. And because as we know from, you know, like the game theorists and Noggin, if you guys know him, but they did the crossover things, so where they discuss crossover related things. But yeah, with that said, today's episode is a double feature, as I said before, and every time I say I'm going to stop talking about it, I continue to talk about it. But this episode is going to be discussing the timelines of Pokemon and Mario. So, let's get this thing started, and let's start with Pokemon and get that out of the way. So, I'm going to just say this right now, only the remakes are the canonical games. And I have a good reason for that. And that's because in Fire Red Leaf Green, you were able to go to the Sevi Islands and catch Mew and Deoxys and them peoples. But you can also somewhat go into the Sevi Islands in Ruby Sapphire. So that's my reasoning behind that. And you could there's also mention of the Hoenn region, which there wasn't in the original, which is the entire reason I put it at put them there. Plus that's also what a lot of other people think, and so that's why I put it there, because I'm a professional at life. Again. After the events of Fire Red, Leaf Green, Ruby, and Sapphire, of Heart Gold, Soul Silver, you know, remakes, that's a thing. So, what happened here is that 3 years later, it's mentioned frequently in Gold and Silver that they mention the boy from 3 years ago, which is, you know, obviously Red. And even Blue, who was the 8th gym leader in Kanto in Gold Silver, mentions Red. I don't think he does, but I'm assuming he is. But there's just a bunch of stuff that's gone down. Stuff went down, you know. But the one thing that makes this cray-cray is the red Gyarados that you find in the Lake of Rage. This red Gyarados is mentioned in the beginning of Diamond and Pearl, and Platinum, I guess, but I'll get to that later. But it's in the beginning of Diamond and Pearl, when you first start up the game. It's mentioned, and then later in the game you can find, I don't think this is in Diamond and Pearl, this might only be in Platinum, but I'm pretty sure it's in Diamond and Pearl. But there's a guy who says, yeah, the guy who photographed the Gyarados at the Lake of Rage, yeah, that was me. So we can assume that he had recently come from Johto to, you know, do that stuff. But another piece of evidence here is Jasmine, who is one of the gym leaders in, or who's the younger sister, I believe, of one of the gym leaders in Johto, who appears in, what do you call it, Sinnoh in Sunny Shore City. She appears first in Johto, then in the main game during the main game of Gold Silver. Then while that happens, while you're beating the champion and stuff, she goes to Sinnoh to try out one of the Pokemon contests, which is where you meet her in Sunny Shore City, and she'll go, not battle you. What am I saying? She'll go into a Pokemon I can't talk, but whatever. But she'll go into a Pokemon contest with her Steelix named Rusty, which she will later trade to you in the post game of Heart Gold Soul Silver. So those two also happened at the same time, much like how Gen 1 and Gen 3 did. As for the rest of this timeline, as you can see that I've made here, that it took me like 10 minutes to make in Microsoft Paint, that after the events of Heart Gold Soul Silver, Diamond, and Pearl, we get Black and White 2, which is their obvious sequels, and X and Y, which I've creatively put behind them because I didn't know where else to put them, because there was no other reason to put them there. But Black and White connects to Gen 1, or is it Gen 2? Whatever. It connects to Heart Gold Soul Silver. You know, they both have Kanto anyway, because there's this guy who is a former Team Rocket member who eventually, he says he's moving back to his home country, which we later find out to be the Unova region, where you can find him in Asira City, where he's got a family, and the only way we know this is because he says the same phrase, which you'll probably see through the gameplay on the screen. But yeah, that's a thing. But as you can see from what I've made here, for whatever reason, you're probably questioning yourself, but for whatever reason, why is Yellow, Crystal, Emerald, and Platinum all in the same things? What? But you're probably questioning why they're all on a different timeline. But the only reason I did that is because Yellow, Crystal, and Emerald were so drastically different from the originals that I couldn't put them here, because, you know, I could accept the fact that maybe you just catch a different legendary, but these three were so drastically different that I couldn't put them in the same timeline. The only exception that I could have made was Platinum, where it could have linked back up to Black and White because of Cynthia in Undella Town, but she mentions the kid who caught Giratina, or battled Giratina. So that could be linked to Black and White, but I didn't draw the line. But it could also what am I saying? Be brought back to near where thing. What am I saying? Well, it could be brought back to where Heart Gold Soul Silver is. There you go. I found my words out. Now, since that's over and done with, let's get to some Mario timelining. Because, yeah. Okay, so the Mario timeline begins with the original Donkey Kong, you know, with Jumpman, which was Mario's original name before they changed it to Mario. But this is Jumpman. This is a vital part in the timeline, which is, you know, the Jumpman thing. But it goes Donkey Kong, and then it goes to the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series, you know, because it's Mario and he's still fighting Donkey Kong, and there's that chick who's not Peach in the in those games. But then that switches gears real fast after one of the Donkey Kong games where Donkey Kong is stopped by Mario once again. Or no, there was Donkey Kong Jr. where it was Donkey Kong Jr. who stopped Mario. Then it was the third Donkey Kong game where Mario eventually defeated what's his name? That guy. Yeah. But I also decided to branch this off in my timeline. If you could see it, I branched this off into Donkey Kong Jungle Beat and Donkey Kong Country series. I decided to put that because I just felt it was relevant. But it's not like a completely different timeline. I just kind of branched it off a little bit because it kind of coincides with Mario's adventures, Jumpman's adventures in the Mushroom Kingdom, which brings us to the Super Mario Brothers original trilogy, Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3, and the Lost Levels, if you want to count those. Then to Super Mario World, which is the first appearance of Yoshi, which eventually comes in handy. which then goes to I forget, but I'm pretty sure. Or no, it's the New Super Mario Brothers series, which is New Super Mario Brothers DS and the sequel to that, and then I believe the Wii versions as well. Given that the Koopalings are in Super Mario World, sorry, but they're also, which is also the thing. What? They're also in the other game, which is New Super Mario Brothers Wii, and I guess you can get the Wii U versions and stuff, which they're all pretty much just expansion packs of each other. But here's where a split happens with Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island, it brings about the birth of the second Mario and Luigi, which is, the real Mario and Luigi. This I decided to branch off twice as like a kind of Zelda thing kind of going on. Kind of like what I did with the Pokemon one. But this one branches off. This side has Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy, and Mario Galaxy 2. Ironically, these are all the 3D adventures. But this is where Mario stays in the Mushroom Kingdom, I believe. And, well, I mean, not like he stays in the Mushroom Kingdom. He doesn't really go anywhere. But this is where he kind of does some more stuff. But the other side is the, well, this is, like, the side I just mentioned is the one where Mario decides to go off on his own, which then on the other side is where he decides to team up with Luigi in the Super Mario, or not Super Mario, Mario and Luigi series. All the RPGs are just on one. Okay, guys, that is about all I have left for this series today. If you like this video, be sure to leave a like. That really helps out the channel a lot. If you like these theories so far, be sure to, once again, like the video. And in the comments below, please tell me what franchise you want me to do next, because I'm kind of out of ideas at this point. Yeah. That's all. Peace out! I like chicken nuggets.